Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 152 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. This time it is for the transfer deadline day special. It's James and Jake with you here. We've just had our wee boy Jack calling sick, and I realised I've not replied to him. I'm an awful human being. Jack, if you are watching this,
get better soon, mate.
Get better soon. And I've not replied purely because Jake can't learn how to unmute something, apparently.
To be fair, I have been doing a 2-hour live stream beforehand.
You have. I even did it at 9:15 this time, so you had some time in the middle. I was being kind, yeah.
It was lovely because I got to go down and just go out the little end. He's fine. Oh, he did a poo. Oh, gotta go to a live stream. Bye.
I just remember, right, just close your ears now if you squeamish. But I just remember ringing you yesterday about plans and stuff.
Oh, God,
and you went, the child has just exploded everywhere. I can only speak for a couple of minutes. And I was like, oh, that's enough contraception if you ever needed it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I hope everyone is doing well this evening on a very dismal day for Sheffield Wednesday in terms of the transfers so far, and the links haven't been fantastic. And I've just been, I'll be honest, mate, I got home from work, spent the evening just doing sort of FIFA challenges and stuff like that, trying to avoid everything else other than I usually just have the transfer deadline day thing on, but I was just getting so annoyed with our lack of business.
Yeah.
It's,
I think for me, because for the last 2-3 seasons, I didn't used to do speculation or transfers. I just did it when they signed and that was it. And I've now turned into the person that does the speculation. And for me, it's getting so annoying with how we're out of touch with everyone who can actually do anything. We don't have a clue, but we'll get into more of it later. It just makes you really annoyed that what is actually going on? What is our actual finances?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's... Oh, I'm going to get some stick for this already. I don't think Chansiri is completely out of line for what he was trying to do with the striker.
No,
however, I think the window has been completely abysmal that we pin it to something this late.
Yeah.
And I think that the fact that he was willing to pay for it goes with what we were hearing all along, that he was willing to stump up big money for a striker. I mean, it's not big money by these standards, but the fact that he was willing to go over a couple of million, it was definitely in that situation. And it kind of, I'll be honest, right, so let's jump straight into that story, because it's a story I've wanted to talk about for a while. This Maguire lad, 22, 23, is he?
22, I think, 23, one of them.
He was in Sheffield on the day of recording this podcast. So he was in Sheffield, in a hotel in Sheffield. He clearly flew in to sign for Blackburn. That fell through last night, allegedly. He then obviously decided to fly in and come to Sheffield. He's going to come to Sheffield Wednesday and sign for Sheffield Wednesday because he wants to stay in England. He's already here. He might as well sign for us. I would have kind of glossed over that. Tried to and gone, well, that's clearly was second choice there. He'd prefer to probably have gone to Blackburn, but that fell through. Let's give him a second chance. But there's something about this whole thing that has just not sat right with me all the way along, the fact that we were second fiddle. Because I'm sorry, Jake, right? I know we are a mess, right? And I'm not saying Blackburn, good club, good club. Good history. They've won the Premier League. They've actually won the Premier League rather than just the first division like we did back in the ancient times. But it's one of those things where back when the pyramids were still young. But the thing is, I just think, look at us last night when we played. We're a good football playing side. We play good stuff. We just need that striker, and it annoys me how annoying it is to bring in that striker when I'm like, just look at the service you get, look at the players around you, and look at what the manager's doing.
Yeah. I think for me, the last couple of months, though, with everything that's happened off the pitch, hasn't made us look very attractive.
No, it's been abysmal, right? Okay, the thing is, the worst thing, apart from the fact that it was racism in itself, the worst thing when you were in a racism scandal in your fan base in a bloody transfer window. Then all of a sudden, that's what I was saying last podcast about tarnishing an entire fan base, right? The actions of one can reflect on many. And if you think about the actual young, because if we're talking about social media toxicity, right? You look at players and look at who they're playing for. You go through the Sheffield Wednesday hashtag compared to some of the clubs, you're not going to Wednesday.
I will say something. If you go on the Sheffield Wednesday hashtag, you're getting a subscription to IPTV at the minute.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous. I think
the amount of spam bots is ridiculous.
I think for me, it's the whole situation. When we knew we were in for him Sunday, and granted, I think we got in and it been leaked. It come out that, hey, Sheffield Wednesday in for him. It's then put Blackburn Rovers on edge going, hey, we actually want this player. Let's do a bidding war. So if you're the selling club, you want this. You want a massive bidding war. Now, we can only go to so much. Now, one thing that has been said, and people have said before, the way how we were doing our payment it seemed like it was a payment structure over so many years. Now, Blackburn were waiting on the Adam Wharton deal to go through, which eventually did, which have made it go a bit more expensive. Now, here's the thing for me. This has shown us for a couple of seasons, we've been like, there's no money here to spend. There's no money here to spend. This shows us the money to spend, and he's not willing to spend it now.
There's another side to this as well, though. I am telling you, if we don't spend that money today in the next couple of hours, it's not getting spent because there's a chance we get relegated and we'll lose that money anyway. So that money will have to get reinvested. So it's one of those things where I think we had a tiny amount to spend and that was it. And when this deal got stupid, I'll be honest, I'm actually glad we're not spending that. A 700k loan fee at this thing is high enough. The thing is, though, footballers, Blackburn are not going to activate that option.
They've got no money. They are in a worse financial situation than we are because they've got a high court thing going on in India where it's to help and transfer money out of India into the club.
Again, I don't know anything about that, so I'm going to say allegedly to protect the podcast that it's interesting.
I have actually seen this one.
Yes, but still, just because I don't know, I'm going to say anything he says is alleged. Okay. Thank you.
So they are in high court in India at the moment, allegedly, trying to get money out. Now, that's been put to, I think it's been postponed until after, I think it's April time. Now, here's the thing. 22 million. They're probably not getting 22 million up front from Palace. They're probably getting about 5 to 10 and then rest of it in payment structures like that. It's very rare you payments up front. But here's the thing. It went from 4 million to then 7. You know for a fact Orlando have gone, hey, you've messed us around so much, you're paying more. We're done.
I think it's also the fact that the player. I do think the player wanted to go to Blackburn, and I felt that all along in this, which is the situation where I actually think now the player's in a situation where I don't think he will stay because he's now talked to himself. I think he could have got a permanent deal here, and he could have built on something good, right? Okay, it's not a great situation, but I now think he'll go to Blackburn, and if he doesn't perform at top whack, there's no way because that option is so high. They are not spending that on him in the Championship. Right, because it's not an obligation to buy, so that is actually a situation where because that could be a £10 million deal, Jake.
Yeah, but they could also wreck a player confidence as well. The player's done well. One season in MLS, 15 goals. That's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's Championship level good, but that's good. But what I did like about this transfer, we were finally looking at things that were to be ready for the future. We weren't looking at like over the hill 30-odd-year-olds. We were actually looking at something that we wanted. But the thing is, how far along down the list of players was this person? That's the thing. And how many times has the list been ripped up, and ripped up again? Because Danny last night looked demoralised. Danny
a lot of people were reading into body language and things like that. But I think it was a factor that we both watched that game, and we should have got 3 points, and it was a frustration. But that's the thing. I've seen that in so many Sheffield Wednesday performances this season, which has been the problem of why are we not,
why are we not finishing our dinner?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, last night we had 19 shots and 5 on target. If you had 19 shots, you would want at least 12 on target. Mm-hmm. You look at the service he could have got from Gasserman. He looks at the service he could have got from Masaba. Could have been fantastic. but it's not happened. And the moment where Blackburn were possibly looking at coming back in, this big deal does feel like we've thrown everything in this one player. And that's not how you do a transfer window. A transfer window, you have a lot of other people working. And I've seen people blame Kevin Beadle for this. It's like, Kevin Beadle, probably the reason we found him, because he worked well in MLS. He's had players from there before when at Cardiff. Now, we have to figure out what to do next. Now, I still think we need a striker. We're not getting one now.
We're bringing it. It looks like we're bringing in a winger and a fullback.
Yeah.
So, Alex Miller's just tweeted, as first reported by Rob Staten some time ago, told Wednesday are trying to sort out a deal to bring left back Christian Pedersen. We spoke about this guy actually at the start of the window, I think. To S6 on loan from Swansea. It would reunite him with old HB. I can't read in this light. Boss Henrik
Pedersen.
Who is now Al's assistant boss. Nothing fresh to report, Soz, he says.
Also, Alex Miller's had a night his Twitter got hacked.
Yeah, I fully sympathise with him there, because when people try and do that sort of stuff, it's
the thing is,
annoying.
what I got here, I'm all for getting a left back and I'm all for getting possibly another winger, right? I don't know how much we actually need another winger, but it is what it is. I think that's a position we don't actually need, unless you can make him playing a central midfielder role. Where we need players.
We've also played Musaba up top, though, remember, as well. Yeah. So it's a case of, if you bring in another winger, he might go a little bit more.
What we need is a midfielder. Why are we not linked with any midfielders? Considering today, George Byers is probably the last time we're going to see him in a winter shirt.
Yeah, so let's talk about that then. So George Byers, great player. You feel like you have to salute the man, don't you? Really, with the situation, but it came to light a couple of days ago that Wednesday were considering letting George Byers go, because he's clearly not in Danny Rule's plans going forward. He has now gone to Blackburn for the rest of the season. Blackpool. That's the one. For the rest of the season on loan. And he's out of contract in the summer, so it's very likely that he could sign for Blackpool, but he could go anywhere else as well. I will recall, though, was there much in it for us? Because here's my thinking on this, because I know where you're probably going, but I want to offer a counterpoint with it. If he's not in the plans and we do get relegated, right, it's obviously you don't offer him a new contract, but it might be just a case of now trying to look at how the wage budget's going to work. Yeah. Get him off the wage budget now. And there was a sell-on fee for him. So if we'd have actually sold him anyway, there was quite a heavy, wasn't it like 50% or so?
20.
I thought they gave him for free, but with like a stupid sell-on or something.
Might have been 20, 30%. I'll have a look.
I remember it being significant because they didn't want to fee for him.
We've always said we're sick of players going out for free, right? We got a 6 to 7 figure sum for him in the summer for him. Blackpool again wanted him.
Yeah, now that's quite annoying.
The problem is that there was a big fee for him, and we could have got money for him. Then we could have reinvested that money, right?
I can't believe I'm doing this again, though. But again, you couldn't have got rid of George Byers in the summer because of the season he had last season. No, but it's the season he had last season. He was a great player for us. For me, I don't think he stepped up to the championship. Yeah. And that's hard to say. But you've seen some of the performances, and he has looked a bit like a passenger. I'm not 100% shocked by this. I'm saddened by it.
Yeah,
but I'm not, because I think he's always going to have a warm place in the Wednesday hearts.
Yeah,
but in terms of the step up you need. Just look at Bannon last night, right? You look at Bannon, and he's not the player he first was in the Championship when we signed him all those years ago when we were flying, but he can bloody hold his own in the Championship, and he's still our best player, isn't he? So it's one of those situations where you need players to step up to the level, and I don't think Byers did. I am a bit annoyed that we've let 2 midfielders go this window, and we've not signed one.
Free, because Buckley went back.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So he's lost 3. Now, the thing is, I would rather us give the sell-on fee money and just pocket and then invest. The problem I've got is that there's a potential for this to happen again in about 2 to 3 years' time with Gassama and Musaba. They both have massive sell-on fees in their contract. We've seen it before from Chansiri. He'll put sell-on fees in, and then he'll let them go free because he then doesn't have to get rid of the sell-on fee, kind of thing. I understand it, and it's a way of us getting dinner.
I think they'll fetch us money though. Them two, they're two players I look at and go, I think that they'll fetch us some money. We'd have to do it really badly. A player like Gassama, he's going to be a player. He's got to fetch us at least a couple of million when he goes, at least.
Yeah,
know.
I think the thing is, Byers has been fantastic for us, and it was a very canny signing by Darren Moore. He's only played like 22 to 23 games each season because he kept on getting little injuries. That's the thing. If he had a season where he's not injury hit, you could double his value.
Yeah.
But because he's always got those little injuries, it's always one of those things. It's also interesting. The other team that was in for him was Barnsley. So it's interesting that he's gone to Blackpool on loan. But again, who was at Blackpool? Who's at Blackpool now? Who signed him at Wednesday?
Yeah, our head of recruitment.
Yeah. So he doesn't need to do any research. He knows who he is. He knows what he can do.
But it's also a case of I think actually the bias thing. I don't think he'd wanted to go to Barnsley because I do think he's got a genuine connection with Wednesday and he'll remember last season.
Yeah, So yeah, you look at that tweet he did, which has been retweeted everywhere. I retweeted it earlier.
Yeah,
and I think you're gonna find it difficult now because right now, where our midfield is light.
Yes, and Connor Coventry not coming. Light. Obviously, that was the thing that. It was the first sort of sign of we're in trouble here. We can't bring the players in. But then it seemed to feel a bit better when we brought someone like Beadle in. I think Beadle was a scoop. I genuinely think Beadle was a great signing. And I actually think the two players we've brought in are very good signings. I'll talk about like Ugbo, for example.
Oh, superb!
I think he looks very good.
He drew a goal.
He is. I think he looks like one of those players that if we'd signed him in. If we'd have signed him in summer instead of Ashley Fletcher, I think we'd be in a slightly different position right now because the way we've played in that first half of the season, he would have suited that very, very well. But I'm quite sad about Byers leaving. I do think it's the right sort of thing for him if he's not going to step up to this level.
Yeah.
But we're coming towards the end of the window, Jake, and we've not signed a midfielder, and that is the concerning thing.
Well, if you want your midfield right now, your midfield is Will Vaulks, Barry Bannon, Marvin Johnson, Jeff Hendrick, Momo Diaby.
And Marvin Johnson's not a central midfielder. We've even put Palmer in the mid. Yeah, I know, but let's talk about central midfielders, right? So we've got Bannon, Vaulks.
Yep.
Diaby.
Yep. And Hendrick when he comes back.
And Hendrick. Why do people call him Hendricks?
I don't know.
Hendrick. I've seen it on Twitter though as well. People call him Hendricks, and I'm like, it's Hendrick.
You could
There's no
possibly bring up Rio Shipton from the under-21s. It's a big act.
Relegation battle. Let's bring the kids in, shall we? Oh, it's just the problem I've got, right? Reading those three midfielders, right? We've only got three midfielders. What happened? And Diaby was injured for most of the season. What happens when one of them picks up a knock?
Yep. Or when, come on, let's remember what do you call it? Look at Volt when he picked up that knock.
Yeah.
It's like you actually look at it. Volt picked up a knock. Diaby picked up a knock in this, and Hendrick and picked up a knock. So it's Bannon.
Yep.
That's it.
And Bannon's getting to that age where at the end of the season he might be blowing a little bit, you know.
He didn't look great yesterday, I'll be honest with you. He looked like he was really struggling at one point.
Well, we were worried he'd picked up an injury for a while, didn't we, when he got but the midfield we need to it's gonna be a case if we might have to delve into the free transfer market. Yeah. You know.
It's we picked up some good frees before. But I think for me, it's how many targets have we actually missed out on, which Danny's actually wanted.
A lot, most likely.
It seemed to me there'd been a lot. It seems like every time they spoke to him, there'd been someone missed out on. There's someone that he wanted. And like, you got to remember, before Friday game against Coventry, he turned around and said, I think we've got two players ready to come. kind of say, I think the 2 deals ready to come. I think it's all done. And then last night you hear him go, I don't know. And that's worrying. That's worrying when a manager goes, I don't know.
I'm just angry because arguably somebody who's got the potential and probably is, even now, our best manager since Carlos, right? Is not. Can you imagine if Danny had the backing that Carlos did?
That'd be scary.
And I am telling you, there will be a club that will give him that backing.
Oh, God, yeah. 100%.
And I'm very concerned because
yeah, definitely.
Even if, I actually think it's clever bringing a fullback because we do need a fullback. We need especially if you're going to have to employ the likes of Palmer in the midfield because he's bringing Palmer into the midfield. Do you notice that? He's
playing him as a midfielder in there.
Yeah, and he's brought, if he does play Johnson centrally, I don't think he would, but you do need a left back there because I don't think he fancies Reece James at all.
No, he's not been picked. He's been nowhere near it. There were talk that he could go to Bolton in the window, and that's not come off. And again, you got to look at what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people in, but if you actually look at outs, we've had a lot of people linked away from Wednesday, and the only one that's gone is Byers. But we've had Smith linked to Derby. We've had Gregory linked to Wrexham, Mansfield, Derby. Derby was someone who could have got him today. Everything apparently sounds like it was agreed. I was speaking to a Derby fan the other day, today, and he said it sounds like everything was agreed and it was ready to go, and we moved the goalposts again. And I don't think that's fair on Lee Gregory. I don't think that's fair at all.
But it's not fair because it's also a position of we're not going to play Lee Gregory.
No.
Ugbo, Cadamartri, they're your top two. He prefers Ashley Fletcher to come and be a hold-up player. So they're your three. And then Smith even got a game last night because Fletcher wasn't available because of the Watford thing. So Lee Gregory's fifth choice. And we were looking to sign another striker on top of that. And I think that's why Lee Gregory hasn't gone because that deal's fallen through. But we don't need five.
No, we don't.
We don't need. We definitely don't need five, especially when he's just not going to fancy him. The one position I'd have said we don't really need to trim down on is the midfield. Yeah, Backinson I understood, but if you're not bringing someone in, letting Byers go. It's just a weird one to me, Jay. It is weird.
It's odd, especially since we didn't bring anyone in. I don't understand. Obviously, it feels like we tried to bring someone in again to let Byers go, and then we've been turned down last minute again.
Yep.
Because why would you do that? Unless he's had a change of where something could happen. We know Callum Patterson can play here, there, everywhere. Do you try him as a midfielder for once? See what happens. You know what I mean? It's getting to that point of ridiculousness, though, isn't it?
I've had enough.
It is, though, isn't it?
I've had enough.
Like, if you actually look what he classed as forwards on Wednesday's website, Lee Gregory, Josh Windass, Mallet Wilkes, Ugbo, Patterson, Smith, Fletcher, Gasserman, Cadamartri, and Masaba.
So Pervader's currently at Sheffield Wednesday having a medical, by the way.
Yeah. Which, again, do you think we need another winger?
Who've we got? Masaba, Gassama, Johnson, Windass, but he could be he's more of an attack. You sort of play him shadow striker, can't
Wilkes.
you?
Wilkes have got to properly step up now.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought he was going to put that away last night. It was a really good turn. That sort of thing from him, seeing more. If it's a quality, if he's of quality and he can help us out, then because I do see us being able to
do well.
It's not a position that you'd think, but you might end up going through the middle. I do think the problem is I think we can pin quite a lot on Cadamartri, but it's a hell of a task for him.
I think it's not. I think it's a lot of pressure to pin it.
I don't know if it's the pressure. I think he'll be all right. I think it's the fatigue. I think he's going to struggle with the level of the physicality because we've seen him being protected in that for a little while. It's a very different step up to do the full season in the senior game, So
It'll be interesting to see if we can get these two deals done, because it sounds like they're both getting close to being done. But again,
let's have a look at Poveda then. So we'll do the normal Talking Wednesday stuff.
Is this time for EAFC card?
It is indeed. So, oh, go on, give me a good one, please. Oh, for God's sake!
Not a good one.
It's a 68 rated rare, not rare silver, common silver. Oh, at least we finally got a. Oh, is he just right midfielder? I want to see all his positions.
Either attacking, he's right midfielder,
right and right winger. Yeah, actually, all right, fair enough. Because there's so many evolutions this year that we haven't got right wingers for, and this will be a right winger. Pace 77, shooting 54, pass it. Shooting's
he has played an attacking midfielder in real life as well, so maybe that's
as a number. If I actually think he's coming in as the second number 10 at the actual number 10 position,
that makes sense.
I think he's coming in as the. I think if we go off what was last night, I think Bannon's dropping deeper. I think we're going to have a proper attacking 10. And I think that's going to be Windass. And I think Poveda is coming in to be the other 10. I think that's the tactic, Jake. I don't think Bannon's going to be that attacking 10 anymore. Where he's tried to play him in that at certain times. Because I actually think when Bannon wasn't as high up last night, actually he looked better. It looked less. He looked. I actually said in League One we needed to play him further up and have him more as that attacking midfield presence. But actually in the Championship I think it suits him to drop deeper. Yeah. So carrying on with this card, dribbling 74, defense 33, physical 53. He's got technical and flair play styles. Evolutions, at the minute, you can get into a 75 rated with the current couple that are on there. However, if you'd have had him for a while, like some Leeds fans probably have, he could have got into an 88 rated player with 89 pace, Travella plus 80. Oh, that's just disgusting, that card. That card is ridiculous. But it does look like this could be a loan now instead of a permanent.
Yeah, I wonder, it's a weird one because that one was all set to be a permanent and he's out of contract in the summer. So maybe it is a case, like you said off air, maybe he comes in, he does well, and then he gets the contract shoved in front of him.
So he does with us, but it's also a case of actually, if we go down, it's a win-win for the player, because if we go down and he's put in a good performance for us and he doesn't want to stay, he can go somewhere else. So that's the unfortunate thing for us, but it's the position. I actually think the player would want the loan rather than the move.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where Wednesday's going to end up. And I actually think that's the unfortunate situation
I wonder if
we're
that's
in.
what's happened. I wonder if that's what's happened. I wonder if they said permanent, he'd gone, any camp can turn this into a loan. And then if I do well and enjoy my time, I'll sign. Like a gentleman's agreement or something of that nature. Let's be honest, for all the people we've been linked with and all the things we've gone with, we needed a left back, a midfielder, a striker, a goalkeeper. We got
centre
back. We needed a full team.
Yeah, we needed 11.
Yeah, and what we got, both good. Beadle showed some signs last night that you can tell young and inexperienced, but I think he put experienced defenders in front of him. They'll help. You look at what the two lads we're bringing in now, you just feel like there's one missing to make it an actual okay window. Wouldn't say it was fantastic, but okay.
I think these are the two that we're going to get.
Yeah. But why are we always bobbing around on the last day of the transfer window? Why? Get your deal done. You don't have to do this. It can be done. All done and dusted. You can sit there and watch everyone else running around for things. I don't, because I'm weird. I don't want Chancellor to think we think this is entertainment. It's great. No, a fan, we'd rather all our business be done and dusted and nowhere near. Like literally nowhere near. Because doing deadline day things, especially with how late we left it again, is scary. Because it only takes something to go wrong and you've lost that player.
Well, it's even like Isaac Hayden's gone to QPR, a direct rival of us.
They strengthened, and they brought in a striker as well.
Yeah. Every team just seems to do it but us, and I'm getting sick of it.
Yeah, it getting more and more annoying. And I thought we turned the corner with bringing in the recruitment person and Danny. And I'm not gonna. I think it's unfair to blame it on Chansiri because the position we're in, very hard to sell to a club.
But then I'll say the flip side of that. He put us in this position.
He did put this is the thing. I think in the terms of trying to get players in, very hard when we're in the position. But if he gave Danny the job in the summer, we're not in the position.
Nope.
We're not in the position. Danny be able to get his players in he wants. And you probably get a set piece coaching as well. Because
our set pieces are woeful.
We need one. No wonder he was annoyed when he didn't get that set piece coach. We can't even beat the first man. And with how tall our squad is, we should be scoring from corners all the time. Like, all the time, because we got a tall squad.
Like, do you know, watching Smith last night, I know he missed that header and stuff, but I thought with a run of games, like, I understand why we were holding out a little bit for him, because he is a bloody good squad player, actually. You know, still like, I don't know what you think on that, but like, for me,
does a job.
He does a job. Yeah, it's what I was saying when we were asked to make some comments on that Derby thing.
I read it.
I don't think he steps up to the level of the Championship in terms of the consistency, but I think he does a job. And I just don't think he suits. Rull's system. He doesn't suit the pressing style that we implement.
You know,
but you can see he's still got that instinct. Go on.
Our pitch right now suits how you want to play him.
Yeah.
Because that pitch is awful.
That pitch is abysmal. And I actually think we do. The problem we've got is I think our players would do better on a pitch that you could play football on, believe it or not, because we can play good football. However, so could half of the other Championship clubs, and that worries me.
Yeah. I think, again, though, the pitch situation goes back to a situation that I've mentioned before. Why is the dome still down? We had an indoor pitch with the dome. I know it went down for health and safety reasons because there was an issue and it got deflated back in March 2023. I get that. I understand that. Why is it not back up so we've got somewhere else to train? Or even, why are we not inquiring about going to play at some indoor stuff instead of, if middle pitches are frozen, why are we not inquiring to go somewhere with an indoor pitch instead of going on the pitch itself? It's just, it's like basic things that you think of that it doesn't feel like someone thought of or have thought of, and maybe it's been turned down. I don't know. But training on the pitch is not something you do.
Unless your training ground is, you've found it's a massive course of injuries, and you've started to use the actual...
Yeah, good point. There is that, isn't there?
And our training ground is notoriously bad for injuries, so we've decided to just make the pitch.
You can't pass on that pitch at a minute. The only saving grace is that we're not on it this weekend, and we've got till Friday to get it sorted.
Yeah, let's talk about this weekend. And so we're playing Huddersfield Town, who have bloody just sacked Darren Moore. Why? Darren Moore could have kept us up, right? By getting Huddersfield relegated.
Hey, it still couldn't. I haven't seen anyone linked with it. I haven't actually seen anyone linked for that job. That is a very hard job to link.
If Warnock goes back there, we are down.
I can't see him going back after the way they treated him. It sounds like he might be going to Aberdeen out of all clubs.
That'd be all right.
But I think the thing with this one is, like, he was on borrowed time. 23 games, 3 wins. That ain't great, especially when you wanted to. Granted, they weren't his players, the Warnock players, the way of playing, but he came in to the club going, I want to play attacking football. And a lot of Huddersfield fans, this from family members, said it wasn't attacking. There wasn't attacking football there. And He brought in striker. I think they brought in 4 players to try and change it up, and it's for whatever reason it's not worked. Fair enough, it's not worked. You feel for Darren, but yeah, I still think he probably should have taken a year out of. Oh no. Well, I don't know. He's gonna have to get a chauffeur. He's got a driving ban at the minute for 6 months.
Yeah, so Heckingbottom is apparently one they're talking to, is said by John there. So yeah, I've heard that as well.
Yeah, I don't want that because he'll want to definitely keep him up, and he could keep him up actually. I think the problem with this game at the weekend, if we lose, I actually don't see us staying up. I think the gap's too far gone. Once a team gets to 30 points, I think we're going to struggle.
I'm going to really struggle mentally in terms of keeping the positivity if we lose. And the positive is pretty much gone. But
I got positive from last night's game. I seriously do. But if we have a finisher, that game is done and dusted. Rob Statten has said it's understood. It is a done deal for Ian Pavda to Sheffield Wednesday player. So it's sounding like it is a done deal now. So we do have that attacking mid or winger. I'm going to really struggle with his name. Got it right once.
Cardiff have just signed someone. Who is that?
What's that?
I'm just looking at who else has signed. Who's our direct competition as well. Cardiff have just signed a keeper, an American keeper, Ethan Horvath.
Oh, is he from Nottingham Forest?
No idea. Possibly.
So if this is done, then great. That's 1 in.
And do you know what? That's the one thing I do like about deadline day. We didn't know very much. Like players come out of the woodwork, don't they? On deadline day.
If we can get the other one done, that's all done. I can't see us having anything else now because no one else has been linked. Kind of thing. And again, annoyingly, but we will see what happens. If this is now all gone through, then great. Fantastic. It's a player in. We make him part of his team. We see what Danny can do and get the best out of him. I think the only thing is, I think last time we spoke, we hadn't done the Coventry FA Cup game. And you know what? We could have done without an FA Cup run, mate. A replay.
I know, but to be honest, mate, if we're a couple of games from Wembley, let's not knock that.
Yeah.
The FA
I'm not
Cup's
going to knock Wembley. It's just we could have done without it with the run of games, kind of thing.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I'll bloody take a cup run. At the minute, I'll take a cup run with everything else going on because actually, the positivity of a cup run might help the morale.
Good point. Good point. It could do. It just. I think
it actually might highlight the fact that we play good football.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. That might help as well. It's just as long as games don't build up, we're fine. Then again, that could work in our advantage if we know we've got like games in hand, kind of thing. That could.
But then again, that you've got to win your games in hand. We've said this a lot. It's happened a lot.
Yeah, last year,
and we didn't win the games in hand.
No, and it really screwed us.
Yeah.
So, say we got one deal done, right?
Yeah.
In this window, we said we needed at least about 3 or 4, didn't we? Start of the window.
Yeah, but in key positions. And in fairness,
we've got it in 2.
Technically, we've actually got it in 3 of the key positions, so I will say that. But I also said we needed a centre-back, and we don't even appear to have looked there.
Yeah.
We ideally... The thing is, for me, we needed a prolific striker, and we don't know if Ugbo's going to be that. I don't want to pin all our hopes on Ugbo. I think I do like the look of him, though. But it's just that unknowing,
Yeah.
Rob Staten has just said, as of now, expecting that Paveda and Pedersen will be Sheffield Wednesday's only deadline incomings.
Better than no.
Yeah.
It's better than not having nothing, but you could do with more. Weren't we looking at, like, did we get told we were going to get like a 30k striker at one point?
30k a week. Yeah, that was
30k
the
week
thing.
striker.
And I think that's where the money came from. I think that report was right, and that was what was going to be this lad, this Maguire lad, and Americans, man, Americans, and looking at, oh yeah, well they're not doing very well in the league, are they? Like, look at the club, mate. Look at the football.
We've had some good Americans as well.
Yeah.
We've had some good ones. It's just, I think it's
probably thinks we're called Sheffield, to be fair. So that's usually the American way with Wednesday, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. It's been a weird transfer window in the sense that I was never thinking in my wildest dreams that we would twice in one window, 3 times even, have Romano talking about us with players. I don't think that's...
You know, I didn't want this player anyway. I don't even think he's got a FIFA card.
He hasn't. No, he hasn't. He's only got.
We could have spent £2 million and he's only in career mode. Nah, not having that. Blackburn could pay £7 million for him and not have him in career mode. I only have him in career mode. Sorry.
How bad do you think this looks for Chansiri and Daniel's relationship going forward?
Depends how open they are with each other. It depends how annoyed.
Outside looking in.
I think you need to have very serious conversations about telling Danny both plans.
Yeah.
Telling him that what I would do if I was the owner of Sheffield Wednesday right now, apart from back the manager, is go, here's what you're going to have if we stay up. Here's what you're going to have if we go down. Either way, you are the man that I want to lead this football club.
Yeah.
Here are your 2 options. Let's come up with the 2 strategies. Let's do it now.
Sit down with Kevin Beadle and go. Let's do plan A and let's do plan B.
Yep. And let's try and not think about plan B, but let's have it there. But I want you to know fully that you are the person that we want at this football club. And I will back you in both regards. But this is why I can only back you to this extent in League One. This is why this is where I'm willing. And I would be willing. Do you know what, Jake? This might sound a bit weird. I'd say to him, I'll throw 10 million at you in summer if we stay up.
I don't even think that will be enough.
No, but I would say it. I'd say realistically, we could probably do that.
Yeah, I will say something. It has said we do, even if it's in a payment structure, as the payments sound like, we have been willing to put money for someone, kind of thing.
I should remember this with how many episodes we did in it. But how much are you allowed to lose in the Championship over 3 years?
Is it? I cannot remember. Is it 13? Has it gone down? I know somebody who will know in the chat, and it's John. So if John knows, let me know, mate. Was it? What was it? I know at one point it was
39 million over 3 years, apparently.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it would be a case of, this would be where it would make sense. You ship off the players off the wages and you go, here's the full plan.
Feels like that's what we were trying to do.
I'm just so angry we didn't bring him in summer when we were looking at him.
Yeah. Yep.
We're still saying this now because the thing is we could have a built.
You know what I find really funny? I told you about him and you went, "Ooh." I think really good young
everybody did. Like, no,
I went and did a little bit of research on this one. I literally went and did research on this one because, like, oh, young German manager, let's have a look. I was like, oh, that's decent. I will say my number one worry was first time doing it, fine, okay. But you take the risk. Everyone's done it recently. You look at that thing to be the new way of doing it. Yes, he hasn't done it, but look at what his credentials are. If you gave him this job in the summer, he built something.
I'm surprised we haven't looked in the Bundesliga or Bundesliga 2 or something like that. You'd have thought
work permits.
No, yeah.
Remember, we had some players that we were going to get in the summer and we couldn't get them because they didn't have work permits. And I think in January it's a lot harder.
There's a Brexit thing as well that changed it.
There is.
Which has basically ruined us bringing in Bundesliga talent without certain permits.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Why would he get that flat fee coach?
It's just... Oh, God.
We're
pinning a lot of hopes on a young Wednesday lad and on youth to stay up again. I will say this squad is better than the squad that went down last time.
Oh, definitely.
We had better. We had great players like Adam Reach and stuff like that back then, but Adam Reach was a good player. He lost the sort of head had gone sort of thing. But in terms of a squad, excuse me, it's more exciting this squad. I'm going to yawn a bit now because I'm not used to the late night stuff, especially in the week.
You get past a certain time and you get tired.
Bedtime, mate. Bedtime.
Not anymore for me. Used to be until a month ago.
But yes, we've got another hour of this before the window shuts. So,
and that could even be a little bit longer depending when to get the deal done before 11. Because you never know, we might need to do a deal sheet. I'm taking this off. My head hurts now.
I 100% guarantee you right now somebody's putting on a Wednesday shirt and there's cameras clicking.
Yeah.
And the social media teams are working on the announcement.
They're getting ready, aren't they? They're getting ready to post. I will say something, just a big one. Next time it's transfer deadline day, Wednesday, can you not do inside match day footage? The only one that I agree with was one that they tweeted about mental health day and just making sure we all talk, which is really important. But every time there was sort of oh, is this something that we haven't picked up on? I'm like, oh, no. Kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, completely.
It's weird. I feel really deflated, even though we've got players coming in.
A colleague of mine, just off topic, it looks like he's leaving some of the work we do to go and basically live on the water, and I think that sounds fantastic right now. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, is he got a canal boat?
I think something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That sounds wicked.
I know a couple of people who do that. Apparently it's really good.
Do that to just get away from a Wednesday, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you what? I can't watch Wednesday. Why? I've got no Wi-Fi. Oh dear.
The more and more, the older I get, I sometimes just wish that my uncle had never snatched that Man United shirt off me and given me a Wednesday shirt. Because now I'd just be moaning about how we've only spent $1 billion over the past few years.
Oh, so you're telling me you could have been the gold bridge of YouTube?
I don't think so.
I think this window's been weird because you can tell Guy Fawkes haven't known what to do with themselves because no one's spending no money. Everyone, including Premier League now, are scared of FFP. I don't think we're going to see windows of mental anymore. I think we're going to have to... I think you're going to see a lot of clubs maybe using academy more. We're starting to more and more.
Steve says, realistically, if we go down, what's next? We'll lose a lot of the fan base and a lot of revenue players.
Oh, they are doing with the ticket prices.
The club will fold if not taken over. I think Chancery will lose interest if we go down again, which might have the
might help push him go.
You know, I don't think anybody is realistically happy with Chancery, but I think it would spur a sale. But the problem is, the truth is, he, like it or not, he was keeping us afloat when he was pumping in that money. We looked at the accounts every year, and he was just pumping revenue into the club to keep us afloat. And then obviously
this year going to be important.
If you watched the podcast, you knew that, but he genuinely thought none of the fans knew that. So he obviously threw his toys out the pram at the start of the season, saying, well, do you know I spend all this money? And we were like, yes, we were just making valid criticisms. We knew you were spending that money.
We knew you were actually keeping the club afloat. We knew if it wasn't. I think...
But at the end of the day, if you'd have spent your money more wisely, then you wouldn't have needed to.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you've got the situation is, I know people always turn around and said, oh, just sell up. When, again, though, this is the man, we've seen what he's like at negotiations. He's not great. He's not great at the negotiations, because I think it's some of the negotiations that's happened, we're probably better positioned in terms of the player recruitment. Because at the end of the day, that's who do negotiations.
I just don't understand how we've not made a striker loan or something like that. Well, the annoying thing about Ugbo is I'd have preferred to him being a permanent, and maybe he will be in the summer, but I think my main problem is, Jake, right? If we go down, some of these players will want to leave, but I will say some of these players are only just starting in the Championship. Like, you should come with us on this ride. If we lose the best players of this crop, that's going to be rough.
The thing is, and also if we do lose the best players of this crop, how much of that money are we going to be able to invest in the squad? Because let's be honest, we've been crap. Let's be honest, we've been crap at selling players.
You see, this is the thing. I don't know if I said this earlier, and I might have just said it in my brain, but when we were saying to Chansiri, sell all the players and actually sell the players, we didn't mean sell them and not buy anyone else. When we said learn to sell players, we didn't just mean get rid of them. Oh, they could go for free. No,
that's not how it works. He's been here 9 years. And sometimes it feels like he hasn't learned the lessons from his mistakes. And then sometimes it does.
Yeah. Yeah, completely.
What were we expect? Let's be honest. What were we expecting from the summer we had to now? Because the only saving grace I got is that Danny Rule has in the past got it from 12 points to 3 points. Potentially. And that before we got players.
Here's the problem we've got with that now. The other squads have had time to window to strengthen, and they have done.
Yeah.
Whereas we haven't strengthened as significantly. I think 4 additions is a good amount of additions, but it's just given where we are, we probably needed a manager. We needed an overhaul for the manager to bring in his own playing staff.
But you don't do that in January.
You could bring 5 or 6 in if you let a few go, to build on top of what we've got, because you do see Danny rotating some of the players in and out, the ones he doesn't fully fancy, and I worry about the likes of when we put bloody Diaby back at centre back and stuff like that, because that's the sort of decision that can relegate us.
Yeah, I literally don't like that one. I think. The big, like I said, the biggest worry for me is that midfield.
Yeah,
it only takes one injury. I'm trying not to say it, and we're screwed.
Yeah, it could happen very easily, though, couldn't it?
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's weird. It sounds like these two are our last and only 2 things. It feels like very much like the Hendricks and Butley deal. But again, we did this end of last transfer window. We wanted Hayden, didn't get him, he went to Standard Liège. Then we were looking at Butley and Hendrick last minute. Again, it's back to having to work around quickly right near the end when we could have got other bits done. You know what I mean?
Ugbo's going to score 20 goals for us, Jake. Let's think on the bright side.
I hope so. Well, actually, do you hope so? Because your idea of buying him then goes out the window.
Yeah, I do, because 20 goals, then we can stay up and we've got something to build on next season.
It's important we stay up as well. TV money goes up. There's new TV deals.
It's important we stay up. It's important we stay up
general.
anyway. I hate that league so much.
Think you have to cover League One again? You're gonna cry.
This podcast in relegation season. We spent 2 years of this podcast, Jake. The majority of the episodes have been a League One podcast. I don't want to do it again.
Football goals. Man United 3, Wolves 3, 95th minute.
I've got none of them players in my fantasy team, so that's fine.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just I don't want to do League One again.
No. Anything but, please.
But there is a saving grace for you.
We might play Man City though.
There is a saving grace for you.
Go on.
Looks like Fleetwood are getting relegated. Sorry.
No, that's Jack. It's Jack that.
Oh no, yeah. I hate that music.
Yeah, it's not fantastic, is it?
No.
I am quite annoyed I've got Solanke on the bench and he scored again.
Doing well as well. So, what time do we think we're actually going to get this signed and done?
I think we're going to the end. What we will say is, I will say we're not going any later than 11:15, and I'm actually not working in the morning. So if we need to get together in the morning or something, we can do some. We can do some bits. That's not a problem.
Yeah,
but
it's just. I feel deflated. I used to like deadline day. I used to enjoy it.
I used to love it. I feel like in the past few years we've seen every other club have a period of getting their crap together, and we seem like we might do that in League One, and then we just all let it crumble.
Yeah.
The Darren Moore thing.
Man United.
Oh, fair enough.
Chuffing out. 96th minute. What happened?
I think Darren Moore wasn't the be-all and end-all of stuff, but the way that all went down was a sign of things to come, really, wasn't it?
He galvanized this fan base. He got them believing again. He came in when we were a bit down and were needing something, right? And he came in, he started building, he slowly started building. First season, missed out, unlucky. Knew what he could do because we couldn't bend much anyway. Next season, build something better. If Ipswich and Plymouth hadn't done what they'd done, we wouldn't have gone up by playoff. We would have gone up automatic. I think we were probably lucky to get to the playoffs final and win that semi-final, and possibly
that's a bit of an understatement, mate. We pulled off the best playoff comeback in history.
But then again, if you look at the final, we got it right at the death, where it's like it felt like we should have gone up just because of the point total, and it felt that. But you should have been able to then, once we had that time off. Yeah, John got it right. And that's an outside, either Birmingham fan. Once you get things sorted in the summer, if there was going to be an issue at the start of the summer, it should have got done straight away and then looked. Right?
I'm just looking at some things now. Do you know what's annoying me?
Go on.
The journalists have started just asking questions about, so this be a good window and stuff like that. That's how dead the window is for us right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening.
No.
Just go and camp. Just go and camp at the ground.
Well,
see anybody.
Well, Joe Crank can't. He's in London. It's his brother's 30th. He's been sat in a corner apparently just on his laptop doing work. Alex Miller got his Twitter account hacked, so he must have been trying to figure that out. And I think Rob Staten most of the night have been flitting between transfer news and NFL news. It's not been great. It's getting harder to follow this team when there's not much to get sorted, if that makes sense.
I just don't
out of the bed at like 8 p.m.
I just don't know if because weren't we competing with Birmingham for no, Birmingham was Pervader, actually. They wanted
pub.
Yeah.
It's just you wanna try and sound a bit political. We've made potentially 2 signings, and that's what you want. He got one of them that he wanted, which was he got 4 out of the 2 positions he wanted. Right? That's great. That's fine. But we let 2 midfielders go. 3, even so. In Buckley.
Buckley was injured, though.
Yeah. But he was always getting called back by Blackburn as well.
Yeah.
They didn't really want to let him go because they thought he was going off to Swansea, if you remember.
Come back, Atty, all is forgiven. No. And then Jez is saying, and this is why we have to buy Punk Chef a Range Rover. Hey, he can't drive. Buy me one.
Drive him one, yeah.
Buy me one, please. I'll have a Range Rover. I can't think of Range Rovers apart from years ago when I was at a Tesco and Liam Palmer was at the checkout and I was trying to work out where I knew him from. This was years ago, right?
Yeah.
You know, you just see someone, you're like, do we go to school together sort of thing? No. Who are you? And then I get out, see him going into a Range Rover. I realize who it is, kind of wave at him and then realize that, oh, yeah. I just looked mental that I was looking. You know, when you're looking at someone and trying to work out how you know them. This was about 10 years ago now. It's like, why do I recognize you so much?
Yeah. So we've lost 2 loans and 2 actual players that are ours then, haven't we, this window?
Yeah. So
how many loans have we got in our squad? I think I play 5.
Yeah, we've got Hendrick, Ugbo, Beadle, Pervader will be there.
Pedersen will be there.
If he's alone.
Yeah, he's alone as well.
Fletcher, 6.
So someone could have missed out on a game then. On match day, should I say?
Yes.
I want to say Fletcher, but you seem to like Fletcher.
Squad rotation, isn't it?
I don't know.
Like this. I really don't like this.
No. We've had some exciting transfer window, but we haven't had one for a while, have we? Let's be honest with you.
No, we haven't. It's been abysmal. Just seeing what have we got here in terms of. I've lost all the stream controls. I'm so out of practice with this software. It's been a while. There we go.
Oh, we've got a Sheffield Wednesday tweet.
Oh, of course we have. I was going to say, let's take a 5-minute break.
We've got a shaking of hands.
Oh, we do. So we're currently watching somebody in a leather jacket shake hands with Danny Rull. So, Jake has all of a sudden appeared with a child in his arms. It's his. It's his.
Here you go, little one.
I've not actually ever seen him before. I've realised. I've seen him obviously on stuff like that. Is he our new signing? Is he going up front?
Yeah. Yeah, Hunter. Now, what the hell is all these lights?
What are you doing?
What are you doing to me, Dad?
Why is there a Jesus tribute act through the screen?
Hello. I basically got told to take child for a while.
Fair enough. Well, it's good. As long as he's not sick on you, I think you'll be fine for 5. Right, so let's do what we usually do in these situations. So,
you got a beep card?
We did one, but we will do it again for this section. So, Ian Poveda joins the Owls on loan. This is from the Wednesday website. The Owls have signed exciting forward Ian Poveda on a loan deal for the remainder of the season. The Colombian international joins from Championship club Leeds United. Poveda is a tricky winger on either flank who can also play his trade. I think is play spelt the same as play? I've never thought that. I'm asking you. Play his trade inside and strengthens Wednesday's attacking options. The 23-year-old brings a rich grounding to S6, having been on the books of football giants Chelsea, Arsenal, Barcelona and Man City. Poveda moved to Leeds in January 2020, going on to make 25 appearances for the Ellen Road side. He also enjoyed temporary spells with Blackburn Rovers and Blackpool. Post the two clubs that we've been having issues with today, posting a further 36 appearances and chipping in with 3 goals. Eligibly international for both England and Colombia, Poveda was capped from under 15 level through to under 20s with the 3 Lions before receiving a call up to the full Colombian squad and has 2 senior caps to his name. Welcome to Wednesday, Ian. So,
weird name, Ian though. Ian Poveda. You hear his last name, and you're like, Ian, and you're like, Smith. Nope.
Yeah. You don't hear many Ians anymore, do you?
No.
Especially 23-year-old Ians.
No.
But it's very interesting that we have labelled, I know he is a forward because technically he's an attacking winger, but we've labelled him as a forward, so this is our forward signing for the day.
Okay. Are you talking? Okay. Carry on. Hunter wants to have a say.
So he is he is our attacking forward. He's the option, isn't he? Basically.
Yeah.
I'm worried about this in the sense that if he does well, he's off.
Yeah.
Because there's no situation in there. But if he does take to the club and he does well for us, and it's nice to have somebody with an option where, if you think about the loan players we've fallen in love with in the past, players like Hector and that, if they'd have been out of contract, I think at the end of those seasons, they would have come to us. But it was just a case of time passed. And I think it's one of those situations where we are in that now.
It's again, also league go up.
Yeah.
Gives us a bit more of a chance as well, doesn't it?
But also, I just don't think he's fancied by Leeds anymore.
No.
I genuinely don't think he is.
I'm fine with that.
Which is, I think that's a decent signing. We needed more, and we're going to bring one more in by the looks of it. But 68 rated on EAFC, it's not going to go into too many squads. But maybe I can get him in an evolution, you know. But in all seriousness, I reckon, as I said earlier, he is going to come in as that number 10.
Yeah. I don't think he's a winger. I think he's attacking behind the striker.
Yes, I think that's what he's coming. I think him and Windass are going to be interchangeable.
That'll be interesting.
And I think that's actually a good shout. You know, being able to bring somebody in who can do that job as well, but also can play other areas. He seems to have that versatility. And we have seen Danny subbing Windass off.
Yeah, so he did come off last night with what looked like a hamstring injury.
So if they are interchangeable, it is one of those situations where we do improve the squad, and that's what you've got to do in the window. We're talking about strengthening and generally improving. I think he will do that. So, yeah,
I am a little bit ashamed that it's not a permanent like it originally was. But I wonder if there's a talk of, hey, if you enjoy your time and we stay up, I'll sign. Like they're a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. I am wondering what's gone on behind that. Why wouldn't it be? Shea Dunkley's just said so good.
Good. Nice to hear from a former player of our parish.
Great to see how he does at the Massive.
Dude, I've just realised your hair is going slightly ginger. Oh dear. Sorry, bud.
What, your lad?
Yeah. I've just seen his hair in the lights. I'm like, the ginger tin's there. Oh dear.
Little ones always do, though, don't they? Like, it's one of those things that, like,
there is ginger hair in her family.
Isn't there one of those things that, like, I don't know, because my nephew was ginger when he was little, and then he just went blonde. So I thought it was a thing. I heard it was a thing.
So let me get it right. We traded one Colombian back to its team to get another Colombian in. Is that right?
Oh yeah, Vasquez was Colombian, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I do think this is the good move actually. I will say the 3 signings we have made have been good.
Yes. 4. Oh, 3 of them right now.
Yeah. We haven't panic signed. We could have very easily panic signed. I know a lot of people were calling for like younger strikers in the lower leagues, just spend the money we were going to spend on that American striker there. But that's a good shout in itself. Can you just lift him up a tiny bit just so he's not right in the microphone with his noises, bless him? All I could hear in my ears was that, yeah.
You just trumped or pooed. Oh dear.
This isn't going as a breakout anymore, is it, Jake? Because you've got the little one just...
It's allowed to be a breakout.
Okay, well, I apologise for the neutral fans who are going, what is going on here? What's going on with this podcast? I was going to get him a Talking Wednesday baby grow, but I couldn't get one sorted in time.
Aww.
So there you go. I'll get him something when he's toddling about.
He's only a month old, and he's already in 3 to 6 month clothes.
What a little fatty.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Right, let me quickly go and give him back to Mum.
Yes.
And I'll be with you in a moment.
I apologise for those loud kisses,
him
but
back
it
to Mum,
is
and I think he's going to poo.
Is parental affection, yes. I just realised that if you have got a good pair of headphones like I have, you did hear those loud forehead kisses on that baby. Very loud, so I apologise for those people. But yeah, I think we're not going to see too much more tonight. I don't think it's going to be, every single window, guys, we've had one of those situations where we think, oh, are we going to get something after midnight? Is it going to be something that comes through and the paperwork's gone through late? But I just feel like we pin so much on that Orlando City striker, Maguire, that we've put ourselves in a situation where that's potentially not going to come round. I know they haven't announced him. But I think it could fall through there as well. Blackburn have been playing that very hot and cold over whether they actually sign him or not. Wednesday have just posted another picture of Poveda in the Wednesday kit. Burnley just signed someone, apparently. So interesting to see how many players move on this day every time. And I just think I was racking my brain earlier for strikers we could actually sign. And granted, it's not my role to do such a thing, but on this podcast, we obviously talk about strikers all the time. We talk about players that are linked with Wednesday or players that we think would be good for Wednesday. And I was thinking, if I was to panic sign now and I was in charge of Wednesday, I would struggle. Because there's not a lot of strikers that I would want to risk in this situation. There's not an obvious panic buy. There's not an obvious striker that you can buy right now for the money, for the budget we have. And that's the thing. I know if CY says, I'm annoyed we've not let Gregory go on loan. I think it's unfair on the player. If he's just going to rot in the reserves, it is unfair to a player that treated us he's done very, very well for us. That is unfortunate. It would be interesting to see if this Poveda deal has got some sort of agreement with the player in place. It's a loan, but we've got an agreement to sign at the end of the season or something. That would be interesting. It wouldn't be with the club, but we've got it with the player because you can actually... I know you can't enter actual contract talks, but I can imagine there'll be a little bit of that on the quiet, which would be interesting to see if we actually do go down that road. Hello. He's returned.
I have.
I was just saying I wouldn't be surprised if we... you're not obviously entering... You don't enter contract negotiations with players until they're in the last month of their deal. But technically, if Poveda's at Wednesday, you can imagine there's probably going to be some talks.
Yeah.
On the slide.
Makes sense. I think next month will be interesting because we can start talking to players. Because he said once the window was done, he'd start talking to players who were out of contract in the summer. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the contract and who doesn't.
Is Pedersen? Yeah, so is Pedersen? I can't see anything about Pedersen having a medical or anything.
Then again, there wasn't nothing about thingy really. It was just
there was. Yeah. A couple of hours ago, there was talk of no. Actually, when we started streaming, Pavetta had gone in for his medical. I remember that. We've done well with players from Swansea, though, to be fair, so we might do all right with Pedersen. I'm still quite sad about Byers.
Yeah, same. It's if it is. I think I will say something. Who do you think's had the best transfer out the window in the Championship? I'm calling it now. Pritchard to Birmingham.
Yeah, that's probably a good shout. Ipswich have just strengthened again, though, aren't they? Kiefer Moore.
When do they not?
That's how you spend money. How Ipswich have. Yeah. To be fair, though, if that had gone wrong, they would have been in so much trouble.
Oh god, yeah.
The amount they spent in League One. Blackburn just signing players after players.
I hope it doesn't go wrong. Oh, I do. I don't know. I ain't decided yet.
I don't wish it on Blackburn for it to fall through. I just don't like it. Never sits right with me.
Right, this is the thing. I do because I think Blackburn is the ones that caused it all.
Do you? Because I think Blackburn were in for him first.
Pardon?
Were Blackburn in for him first?
No, we were. We put 2 bids in, and then when our 2 bids got rejected, they went in for him.
Fair enough.
You know what's going to happen in April when we play them, don't you? Butley to Maguire, goal! And we'll go, oh, crap.
Or someone 2-foots him.
What, Barry Bannon go, right, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
What is that video they just put up Wednesday?
I don't know. I think my opticians have really messed up my prescription this time, you know.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm looking at... I can't see the screen properly.
You're blind.
Yeah. I've started wearing, like, my old glasses again. But obviously I've got lenses in. And this is not good. It's because these lenses are the new prescription. And no, I think I'm going to have to...
No, you're going to have to go back.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call them and sort it out. It's quite annoying, actually. Because I'm literally looking at a laptop screen there. And yes, my eyes are tired, but there's something off in one of my eyes.
You're getting old.
Shut up. Says the old man.
I know I'm old. I'm like, what was it? 3 years away from 40 next year. This year. Even.
Old man. Right. Luke Shaw's a free agent. Hey, that's if he is, that is a shout. I forgot. Is he still a free agent?
Yeah, he is. He just left China. Didn't play many times in China either.
He's 30 now. Oh, I feel a bit sick that he's 30 now.
You're like, I remember when we signed him.
He scored 3 goals in 9 games.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
That's not bad. 3 in 9. I know it's China, but I'm just saying, under Danny Rull, last season he scored 7 in the champ.
And
that was in a bad Reading side.
He was absolutely gutted when he left them. When he was at Udley, he literally went and found Chansiri and said, "Go, you're selling me."
I don't think Chansiri would have him back, but
no.
I'll be honest, he could work. It could work. I'd take him. We're desperate.
Yeah.
And he has scored goals at this level. I just think, Rotherham have just announced Andy Ribbon.
That's the one we were after, wasn't it?
Apparently.
At one point.
Yeah. Is it a loan signing? Or does he want to play in League One?
I think it's
right. Fair enough. We're going down, aren't we?
Not necessarily. He says yes.
If we lose on Saturday, we're going down.
Oh yeah, I've already said if we lose on Saturday, we're good.
We're so full of positivity and optimism, aren't we?
Yeah,
But doesn't the window shut in 10 minutes?
Yes. And have we got a deal sheet? Is he even in? Where's it been done?
Oh dear. This is going to get announced after 11, isn't it?
Probably.
If we're doing it properly, if it's actually happening.
They're going to have ... don't go to bed yet. I think you've got to think, if they don't go to bed yet, you know who it is.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to do and behind this, who was the person, and do like a Scooby-Doo mystery thing.
Just for once, I would love that to be us that does that.
That would be funny.
Is it? Do you know, like, we actually we signed the player?
Did I tell you what my plan was? You know, when I found out the Blackburn thing? My plan was to like have Chansiri just take a car to Manchester and pick him up and go, yeah, you come this way, we're playing blue and white. Yeah, we do. And just rock up at Hillsborough and be like, sign that.
I'll tell you what, we're talking about good signings there. Mike said something I'd probably agree with. I'd say Hull with Fabio Carvalho. That's probably the best signing, actually.
Yeah. They signed some right players in this window.
Maguire deal is off. Is that for Blackburn?
Where's that? Oh, you are kidding me. Please tell me that's true. Oh, what's he done? Has he failed a medical?
Well, the thing is, though, he's an idiot if he's chose them, because they've tried to sack this deal off 3 times. And if they don't sign him, he's only got himself to blame, in my opinion, because we've actually genuinely wanted to sign him.
They were trying to get Niall Ennis out as well.
Apparently, he's having a Blackburn. He's having a Blackburn. He's having a medical. Jesus, my brain's going. Can you tell?
Having a Blackburn?
Yeah. He's having a medical at Blackburn. Please do us a favour, by the way, guys. We'd like 170 odd viewers. Let's make sure we get the likes up on the stream. That would be very helpful. We've been very inactive in terms of breakouts and stuff this month. So it would help us just get a bump in the algorithm for when we hit the content hard in February. And make sure you subscribe if you've not done that already.
Like the content tonight?
Yes. I do miss these. I wish we had more opportunities to do stuff. Do you know the thing is, though? Like, this is the annoying thing. Like, if we were a Premier League club, we could do so much.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much you can do when you're like top level.
Yeah. There's a lot of more things you can get more into with players. You can your view just go up.
Yeah.
Door on tour basically went through the roof. And I think a lot do when you go up, and it's just like, even if you just stay there for just one season, it can help boost your platform that you're working in or whatever.
Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted, understand Dwight Gale has terminated his contract at Stoke City and he's now a free agent. Where's he going? I know we wanted him a few years ago. We tried to get him.
We did.
Just saying.
Where's he off to? That is... Where's he going? How old is he now?
30. So he's not that old.
No.
So Dwight Gale starts this season. Oh. No goals in 10 games. He's only
there we go.
So yeah, it's coming to Wednesday.
Miller,
and 3 goals.
Alex Miller just tweeted it pronounced Jan.
What?
Yannick Pedersen.
Okay.
I mean, that's what he's on about.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, Dwight Gale's not had a great career the past couple of years, actually.
I love that. Alex Miller it pronounced Jan and someone underneath it said, just call him Dave.
Do you know, I know this is weird. I know this is a weird one to say. A striker's not really scored that much in the past couple of seasons. Like
I don't think you're right. It would be, but it would be the most weird.
I would have him.
Yeah.
Because if Danny Rule thought he was worth it, I think he could fit this. Because he used to bag for fun, right? So it's one of those things where if Danny Rule could get the best out of him,
yeah,
it would be interesting.
Signing possibly one of the underrated signings of the window.
Yeah, he was 34. I thought he was 30.
Coventry has signed
he's 34. Ignore me.
Mason Clark from Peterborough, and he's going back on loan to them. That is a signing.
Say that again.
You remember Mason Clark, who played against us at Peterborough?
Yes, yeah. I
the
said
young
we should
lad.
sign him. Yeah, I said we should have signed him.
He's just gone to Coventry and then loaned back out. That is a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. He'd have been a good player for us. I wanted us to sign him. Yes, he is 34. Sorry. It was, I think actually Fabrizio said he was 30 or put him in brackets that he was 30, but he is 34. I'm looking at that now. You are right.
How has Reading been able to sign a player? I know that sounds really disrespectful with everything that's going on. I don't get it.
We did. We were in financial situations. We were still bringing in people. Yeah, it was freeze and stuff.
Yeah, true. I'll give you that, actually, yeah. Who are QPR signed?
Not more.
They got A's at Hayden. It's all like they've got one more. And it's a Wolf. Let's have a look.
Hopefully it's somebody we've never heard of.
Joe, by the sound it could be Joe Hodge from Wolves. He's a defensive midfielder, 21.
All right, okay.
So where are you still awake tweet?
The annoying thing is it's going to be about Pedersen.
Yeah.
I'm just really disappointed with this window, man.
Not great, is it?
I just feel like we could have done so much more with this management.
Should have done so much more with this management.
Yeah. Oh, Blackburn are announcing Maguire apparently, so that hasn't fallen through.
Let's see how good he is.
Fair play to him.
Yeah.
They want to spend that money.
Let them.
I wasn't comfortable with us spending that much money, by the way, on an unproven striker. I genuinely was. I'm not. I said that a couple of days ago.
Yeah, but we've also got to remember we've bent it on a proven player. It didn't work.
Yeah.
So
the only player I ever was comfortable with the transfer fee we paid for was Forestieri. When we signed Forestieri, even though I knew
that was a steal.
Yeah, I thought it was an absolute. He's the only player that Wednesday ever. Excuse me. Apart from Rhodes, which I was wrong about, but he was the only player that we signed that I was so excited because I knew Forestieri was going to be a player for us.
Yeah. And now we can have this done. Yeah, it sounded like Ian didn't want to sign a contract with us until he knew what our position was.
Where's you hearing that from?
Somebody on Twitter just said it, and someone I trust.
That could just be a guesstimate as well, which would make sense, to be fair, wouldn't it?
But it makes sense with all the people that we've had turn us down. I think that's been the most of it. I think we've actually got it sorted in terms of deals in theory, and then they've gone, well, your position don't look great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've got nothing against Blackburn, but I hope we absolutely batter them with him in the squad.
I've seen some Rover fans turn around and go, you know what can happen? We've spent all the time getting him, going to like do his ACL on his first game.
Well, he could be useless in this league, right? The MLS is not the same. That's why I was like, when the money got stupid, I was like, you're fine, actually. You can spend that. That's all right. Yeah. And if he's a baller, fair enough. We lose out on that. But we have been in situations financially not great. So
Jesse Lingard gone to South Korea.
They must have paid him the most.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. This is the only problem with this last little bit in it.
Yeah, they've announced Maguire properly.
Have they?
I've just seen his mop. I've just seen his hair. You're all right. he's one of them young lad American. Yeah, that goes for the actual Barbie blonde. Yeah, I can't really say anything about hair, can I? But there we go. But yeah, that is the window shut. It's 11 p.m. So hopefully something was over the line. I think the Pedersen one will have been over the line.
I will say this.
If we've messed that up, I'm done.
Yeah. If we've messed that up. I will say something. I feel sorry for like the Blackburn Rover journalist and ours having to cover that entire story with Maguire. It must have been a pain in the backside.
It's their job, though, as Roy Keane would say.
Is it over? Oh, that's a signing. Sydney Van Hooijdonk at Norwich. Rate him as well.
I don't know who that is.
Plays in Bologna in Serie A. Or Serie B. I think it's Serie A.
Yeah, I watch Serie A all the time, Jake. I should have known. My knowledge of Serie A is literally EAFC, which I'm not ashamed to admit.
Is it going to get confirmed? It all looks like that. Like Alex Miller's already kind of announced it, saying it pronounced Jan.
Yeah, we've pinned all our hopes on Maguire.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
Yep. I wonder where Dwight Gale's going to go. Like now everyone on the Wednesday hashtag is starting to say Dwight Gale's coming to us, isn't he?
Yep.
Said it first. Said it literally within 20 seconds of his announcement. Just saying. But it is the type of signing we'd make.
Yeah.
I know he's 34, but at this point, like, would he be worse off?
But he doesn't fit what he's trying to do, does it?
He scores goals. Sometimes.
I was going to say, how many goals has he scored recently?
It's all about systems, though, isn't it, mate? Stoke don't play the kind of system that we have. You put him in a position where you just say, get in the box and score the goals, and I think Dwight Gale will do that.
Yeah. Poacher.
You can do worse things for 6 months, by the way.
True.
He's probably off to Saudi or something, let's be honest. Phil says, remember Berahino used to score goals. And Berahino wasn't the worst player for us in certain aspects. He came good towards the end of his Wednesday career, didn't he? I think I remember that rightly. He scored a hat-trick at some point, didn't
he? Wednesday, yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, because he got a team of the week. I remember that.
It's getting announced.
Is it?
I was asking. Is it getting announced?
Bored now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, audio listeners. I know you probably listen to this in your car on your way to work and stuff, and you're like, oh, they really were losing the plot last night, weren't they?
Yep. Wasn't great. We didn't get a deadline signing. I just don't think it's the one everyone wanted. David Turnbull gone to Cardiff. Wow. You're going to go, who's
How old is he now? No, how old is he now?
I think 24.
I thought he was older than that. I feel
like
it's a name that's been around for a while.
Let me have a look. Oh, no, got it right. 24.
Fair enough.
Go me. Let's have a look. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else who's signed anything. It looks like Charlton got a new manager, Nathan Jones.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Probably might do quite well though, actually.
Let's have a look at this Duncan deal. So what have they announced it as? Yeah, it is an option.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to make that option.
No.
Unless he bags like 10 goals for him at least. They're not going to spend 7 million on him, are they?
I doubt it.
It's a lot of money for a striker at this level, unless he is literally
that good.
Yeah. See you later, that mate.
It is the former son of Van Hooijdonk, the former Forest player. Yeah, it is. That is a mental signing for Hull, actually.
3 players. Do you know what's just annoying is we've been talking all the window about when Danny gets backed. It's going to be all right in January. Can we make it to January so Danny can be backed?
It felt that way, innit?
Well, no, it's what we've been saying. We've been saying it. We've been saying, all right, Chansiri, just shut up, go behind the scenes.
Go and give him what he wants.
Give him what he wants in January and we can forget all of this. Well, we can't, but we'll do our best.
I like Alex.
And that's not even happened.
To the welcome, Duncan. Cheer for the late night.
Yeah.
Our deal done.
Yeah, it's not. There will be one of those things. There will be things. I can literally see so many Wednesday fans on the hashtag saying they'd take Gale.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. I've seen a lot of that.
Because would you say we play more like West Brom used to, or more like Stoke? Because I would say we play more like West Brom used to.
More like West Brom, but the only issue with Dwight Gale is injury record.
That's true. But the last season that
sorry, I've just seen how Blackburn Rovers announced it. Time for slam dunk. Oh no, you can stay there. oh no, get stuffed. I'm all for good announcements.
Right, quick in the chat. Yes or no? Would you take Dwight Gale, 34-year-old Dwight Gale? Yes or no, chat? Let's see.
When they just tweeted, we're into added time at the window. The time for one more. Yes. We know what it is. Just show him in. Lots of messing a lot of crap window. Could have been better. Come on, let's announce this and then we can end it. And then we're done. I'm just thinking about that money they've got to potentially pay for him.
Only one more signing. Yikes, mate.
Yeah. To the left back, we do need.
Okay, so our chat's a bit more interested. Our chats have gone. I've got no, yes, yes, no, yes, no, definitely not, no, hell no, no. Fair enough. I think our chat says
I think you're out on that one.
I'm tired, mate. I'm tired of us.
I know, I get it. You had that waiting for the entire end of the transfer window, haven't you? The 1867 group.
Oh, have they just said something?
They literally tweeted at 11:08.
Yeah, let's not touch that until I've looked at it. Rather Zhao than Gale. Yeah, I'd take Zhao back. I would take Zhao back. Genuinely, a free agent, I'd take Zhao back. I think he'd score goals in this system, personally.
Oh, you would. Definitely would. Just we'll see. We're gonna have to go into free agent if we want a striker now anyway.
Yeah.
But I think he's probably gonna go, well, I've got what I've got, I'm gonna have to work with what I've got. Pretty much. But if you've got a little bit of creativity with how do you say it? How do you say his name?
Vader. I think it's Vader.
Maybe that's going to help us get that.
Don't get me wrong. If you look at how we played last night, we're strong. We are strong enough to stay in this division. We just don't have the finish. And that's what we needed. We needed somebody to come in and score the goals.
Yeah.
And that's what's annoying, because I'm like, if that young American lad, right, he'd seen us play last night or something, which I assume he probably did, how the hell do you not want to come in off that service? Off the yeah, it is, isn't it? It is money. Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. It's money. They've offered a better wage package as well than we have.
Yeah.
And it's sad that It was fun while it lasted, thinking, oh, we're gonna do this, and you look at what he can do. He looks a good player, and he's potentially going to be a good player, and you'll be like, damn, we missed out on that. But you look at how much they're getting for him. Is he worth that?
The journalists have got everything right. There's only 2.
Yep. That was it.
And they're both going to be loans, Jake. That's so weak.
Yep.
So we've let 2 players go.
We've lost 3
who are out of contract in the summer.
Yeah.
And we've brought in 4 loans.
Backinson does have an option. We have an option on Backinson.
Yeah, but I can't see it being activated.
Yeah, actually, now you said that, no, I can't. That's what a smart football club would do. That sounds really catty, but I feel like it's true.
Let's be honest, mate. Our football club that we have loved our entire lives has been an absolute crap fest for our entire lives. So it's nothing new. It's just the older I get, the more we're disrespected because we let ourselves be disrespected. Because what once was a great club has now just a laughingstock, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. It's just,
and it's only in our minds that we know what we truly can be, and we can show a glimpse of it in the world, like we did in summer, like the size of our fan base and the
that actual... alone should have got a lot of people.
Yes, but the idiocy that went on with the ownership at the time completely just took a sledgehammer to it. All the progress, all the highlights, the way we could have gone with it.
It was destroyed in about 3 months.
And do you know what? It had been forgotten if when he destroyed it, he could have actually built it straight back up by appointing Danny Rull, who he was looking at straight away. Instead, he employs this absolute disaster of a manager who is probably the worst manager, actually is the worst manager I have ever seen at Sheffield Wednesday, that is going to have got us relegated this season, brings in a brilliant manager afterwards and doesn't back him.
Yeah. And here it is. Tweeted. Oh, and we've literally just done here it is. There you go.
Yeah.
Even they got tired. He's probably not even there.
Possibly not. Let's see if there's an article so I can do the read.
There is.
Cool. So, the last switch by the looks of it for Sheffield Wednesday from the Wednesday website reads as follows. Christian Pedersen makes S6 switch. Wednesday have completed the signing of number 4 of the January transfer window with the capture of international defender Christian Pedersen. The 29-year-old joins the Owls on a loan deal for the rest of the season from Championship club Swansea City. And follows James Beadle and Ugbo. Ike Ugbo and Ian Pervader into Hillsborough. Primarily a left-back, Pedersen can also play in the heart of the rearguard. He kicks off his career in native Denmark as a youngster with Benløs IF and Ringsted IF before signing for HP Koj, for whom Pedersen made 58 appearances. A switch to Germany followed as Union Berlin snapped up the Dane, who made 61 appearances for the 2 Bundesliga side. He made his name on these shores with Birmingham City, playing 158 games for the Blues in the second tier. After a brief spell back in Germany with FC Köln, Pedersen moved to Swansea last year and continues his championship journey with Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday, Christian. I actually do think this is a good signing. Don't get me wrong. It is a position that we need to strengthen. I just don't think it's enough. But talk me through what you think of Christian Pedersen becoming a Wednesday player.
I think like I said, it's a signing that we needed. I think we needed some cover in that position. We didn't have any, but we got the cover now. But we're missing possibly 2 more than we could have had, kind of thing. And that's the issue for me. We needed 2 more. We needed another striker and we needed a midfielder, or even 2 midfielders who could help and contribute with the goals. But this has been our window. It got exciting to a point. We were thinking, what can Danny get in? Because no one knew what a Danny role player was, because he'd never been in management. So you're like, okay, let's see what happens. But he then we got someone in that we needed. It strengthens the position we were short in, but you can only think that letting 2 midfielders go and bringing none in is a mistake.
Yeah, that's a mistake all over, and it's just a case that we clearly pinned all our hopes on the Maguire, the American striker. Didn't have a backup plan. You've always got to have a backup plan for those situations, especially if it was a player that was poached or whatever. You still need a backup plan because these things happen in football, and now we've left ourselves short of it. We've also got people on the books that are not going to play. Reece James, Lee Gregory. Goose possibly says, I think now we should release Gregory. If he's not playing, then out there, cut the cost and let him find a club. To be honest, I agree. Cut his contract. Just mutually terminate, and then we don't have to pay him off. If he's okay with that, let him go somewhere. Because what's the point? He's not going to play. Danny says, I'm fairly happy with these deals. 3 internationals is nothing a club in our position can bat an eye at. Yeah, but they're loans and the short-term deals, and they are not potential. It's just not enough. I do think they are good.
That Danny wanted in this window, he said he wanted players that were his, that he can start to build with something. This is not that he can build with. He knows he's got to give it back.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's all about a project, and if he starts seeing it as less of a project, mate, I just worry about where we're going to go. Because if the relationship with this manager sours, right, I just worry about us going forward, because Chansiri won't sell reluctantly, and we are at the point now. If Danny Rule goes, we are screwed because there's no manager like him that is going to want to come anywhere near us while Chansiri is at the helm.
Not going to touch us,
right? And it's ugly.
Yeah.
It's not been a good window. I think I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah.
If anything breaks overnight, which it's not going to, because that's it. Let's be honest. That's it for the business. But the podcast will be back to its normal scheduling as of Monday. So it should be there for Tuesday. If you are a new listener to the podcast, please do subscribe to the channel here. You can also find us on audio feeds. Make sure you leave a like on the stream before we end. But, guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. You guys all take care. And we will see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday. I will mention, because I don't think it's on this tab, that Caboodlefish is a credited member. But it won't be on the actual graphic because it's alive. See you later. Take care.